Hello, my name is Holger Kiekbusch and I'm a lecturer in the International Business Department at the Faculty of Business Administration here at Rajamangala University of Technology, Panakorn. Today, I would like to talk about how do economic turbulences affect companies and people. So first of all, we have to look at economic turbulences. Economic turbulences, as we define them, are cyclical and non-cyclical changes in an economy. This means that we have changes in the demand for goods, services, and of course, employment. That means there are time periods when we have a higher demand for goods and services, and there are time periods when we have a lower demand for goods and services. And of course, these changes affect the situation of companies as well as the situation of people. Now, let's think about how are companies affected by changes in the demand for goods and services. Well, the first thing we might think of is it affects the sales of a company. So, companies are selling their products on domestic markets as well as on foreign markets. And of course, if the demand for their goods and services changes, companies have to adjust. On the other hand, the situation or the change in the demand for goods and services might also affect a company's purchasing market, means where the company purchases its supplies which it needs to produce its goods and services. And of course there can also be effects on the price as well as on the availability of the products a company needs to produce its own products. And of course, when we have price changes as well as changes in the demand for goods and services in an economy, and if this demand goes down, a company might be negatively affected and the profits of a company might go down. Of course, if a company has experiences negative effects, it will also affect the employees. People might lose their jobs. And when people lose their jobs, they might lose their total income. They face special hardships in life. They can consume less, but still they have all their expenditures. They have to pay for their rent, they have to pay for their living expenditures, food, drinking, maybe their car. And in this way, the people are very, very negatively affected and experience hardships, and it might very well affect their mental state in the long run. So we can see that, number one, these economic turbulences might affect companies in a negative way. It might be even so negative that the companies must go bankrupt or go out of business, but in the same time it affects the people in a negative way, so that people face hardships and it will be very difficult for them to deal with these hardships. So now, finally, what can we do about it? Well, I think the best possible way is to find a way to minimize the negative effects of these kind of hardships for companies and people. As we have just experienced during this COVID-19 crisis, companies around the globe try to minimize the negative effects for the people as well as for the companies. I hope this little speech gave you a small insight on this challenge. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a good day.